The sun was setting over the small town of Riverside, Illinois, painting the sky with streaks of orange and purple. The streets were quiet, except for the sound of a baseball bouncing against a cracked pavement. Jake Miller, tall, messy-haired, and a dreamer at heart, tossed in the air as he waited near the corner diner. This diner wasn't just a diner. It was their spot. For as long as Jake could remember, he and his three best friends, Emily Carter, Chris Johnson, and Sarah Brooks, had spent their summers here, ordering cheap fries, sharing milkshakes, and talking about everything from silly high school gossip to impossible future dreams. But this summer was different. This was the last one before college, split them apart. Jake leaned against a lamppost, pretended to be calm, but deep down he felt uneasy. Would this be the last night they were all truly together? Emily arrived first, her brown hair tied up in a messy bun, carrying her sketchbook like always. She smiled, but her eyes had a secret, one she hadn't told anyone yet. Chris showed up next, confident and joking as always, his arm draped around Sarah, his girlfriend. Sarah, with her bright eyes and restless energy, looked both excited and nervous, as if she was already halfway gone to New York, where her theater dreams awaited. Jake forced a grin. "So, last night of freedom, what's the plan?" Chris smirked. "The plan is to make it legendary." And just like that, their night began. They started at the old baseball field, where they used to play as kids. Chris pitched the ball to Jake, who nearly missed but laughed so hard he doubled over. Emily sat on the bleachers, sketching the moment, while Sarah cheered like they were kids again. Then they drove to the riverside, where they used to swim during hot summers. They dipped their feet in the water, letting the current pull at their worries. Remember when Jake tried to jump off the bridge and chicken out halfway? Sarah teased. Jake groaned. "I was 12. Everyone laughed, but behind their laughter, there was a growing heaviness. The knowledge that these memories were the past, and the future was already pulling them apart. As midnight crept in, the group sat around a small campfire on the hilltop outside town. The fire crackled, but the air grew tense. Emily finally spoke. Her voice was quiet. "There's something I need to tell you guys. I got into an art school in California. I'm leaving in 2 weeks." The group froze. Jake stared at her, hurt. "You weren't going to tell us?" Emily's eyes filled with tears. "I didn't know how. I didn't want to ruin this night." Then Jake's frustration turned toward Chris. "And you knew, didn't you? You always know everything." Chris shook his head. "Not this time. But let me guess, this isn't just about Emily, is it?" Jake's jaw tightened. His eyes flicked to Sarah. The silence said it all. Jake had feelings for Sarah, feelings he had buried for years, and seeing her with Chris had been eating him alive. Sarah looked down, torn. "Jake." Jake stood up, his voice shaking. "Forget it. Maybe this really is the end of us." He stormed off into the darkness. Separated, each friend wandered alone for a while. Jake sat by the river, tossing stones, hating himself for ruining the night. Emily flipped through her sketchbook, seeing years of memories drawn in graphite, realizing she couldn't carry them all with her. Chris paced the street, angry at Jake, but also guilty for not noticing sooner. Sarah stood under the lamppost, whispering lines from her favorite play, wondering if chasing her dream meant breaking her friends' hearts. They each thought about how much this friendship had shaped them, and how easily it could slip away. Hours later, one by one, they drifted back to the hilltop. The fire had burned down to embers, but the stars above still glowed bright. Jake was the first to break the silence. "I'm sorry. I mean what I said. I don't want to lose you guys." Emily wiped her eyes. "You won't lose us. We're just growing up, but nothing can erase what we've had." Chris stepped closer. "We've been through everything together. Fights, heartbreaks, dumb mistakes. This isn't the end. It's just a new chapter." Sarah smiled softly, placing her hand on Jake's shoulder. "No matter where we go this night, us will always be real." They all sat together, watching the first light of dawn creep across the horizontal. As the sun rose, the town looked different, smaller, quieter. But for the four friends, it would always be the place that built them. They didn't have all the answers, They didn't know where life would take them. But for now, they had each other. Jake whispered, almost to himself, "This isn't goodbye. It's just see you later." And for the first time that night, they all believed it.